left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat. Donald Trump selected Tom Homan as his choice for Border Czar, which does not require Senate confirmation. Homan is known for his hardline stance on immigration. His role in Project 2025's border security chapter makes him a pivotal figure in executing the administration's immigration policies. Ace, based on what we've seen in Project 2025, what impact will this pick have on immigration enforcement and border security?
Ooh, Tom Homan, right? I mean, one thing, he is experienced, 30 years in immigration he's been. He led ICE the last time he was in the Trump administration. He used the terms when they asked him about his plans. He used shock and awe. Last time we heard shock and awe.
That's some scary shit.
That's the goddamn Iraq war, bro. That's Bush. Shock and awe. That's what we used against the enemy, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about doing this to American citizens. I don't have a nicer word to say
let's make sure that we correct that, because we're talking about doing it to immigrants and American citizens.
That's what I'm saying. Well, immigrants and American citizens. He said that. So pretty much.
Right.
I'm saying that. I'm using that not loosely. I'm using the words that he actually said. It's what he said here. I don't understand it. Even Trump, when he first saw this guy, says that guy looks hard and mean, which means he's an asshole. That's basically where he put it. Every interview I see, the dude's just got asshole tendencies. He's not put there to help us manage the immigration problem that we've been having for decades here in this country. He's here just strictly to go in and remove it. We've put the bull into the glass shop, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's no way, ifs, ands, buts about it. Back when they wanted to make him Border Czar in like 2018 or whatever, he actually didn't want to go through the confirmation process, so he bowed out of it. So that brings up questions: is what is he hiding? What's in his background? I think that he's just tied to and he's been on it. I don't think he's even dodging this. He's tied and embedded with a lot of far-right extreme groups, and he's pushing the policies that they actually do. Him and along with Steve Miller. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he's definitely wanting to go after undocumented citizens, but even if they're law-abiding, So Steve probably knows a little bit more about this. He talks about it a lot. But we have a lot of people in this country that they are documented immigrants, but they're law-abiding. So they pay taxes and they do things like that. He don't care. He wants to get rid of them, and he's hoping that y'all are related to him. I tell Hispanic friends of mine like this all the time. I said, dude, they're not using a scalpel. They're using an axe when they come in to do this. Mm-hmm. And they ain't getting time to ask no questions. You know what I'm saying? If you have anybody in your family that has questionable immigration status, they going. And guess what? You might go with them. They might write the laws to make that happen. And this is the guy that wants to do that here. He's quite a character. He's he's gonna be the one to enforce the policies that they're gonna pass. He's definitely the sword in that. So criminalizing immigration, making it a crime, like if you're entering illegal, which it is a crime, but usually that's not processed. Like, we don't send people to prison for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We usually deport them or whatever, but he's trying to do that. And once again, he's the guy who actually proposed the Family Separation Act back in 2014. He wanted to do that to deter people from coming here. Like, you come here, we're going to break up you and your kids. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's Tom Homan.
Yeah. And a lot of those things are going to cost people money. This is going to affect. This is one of those appointments where on paper you might say this isn't going to affect me one way or the other because I'm not an immigrant. Mm-hmm. This is going to cost you money because when they start getting people who they might be undocumented, but they might be working a job, okay? They might be working a job that supplies something for you. So if you have a person who is owning a legitimate business. They own a landscaping company and they're doing good for themselves, okay? But maybe they're not doing good enough for themselves to get their paperwork together, but they're employing people, okay? If this person gets deported, then his family loses out. If his family maybe he's married to an American or something, his family no longer has their source of income, okay? His employees no longer have a source of income, okay? If this happens enough, within the price of that product is going to go up. So then you're going to have getting your lawn done by somebody is going to be considerably more expensive. When you talk about the agriculture industry, you're going to see food prices go up significantly from these types of appointments. So when you look at these appointments, I want y'all to really think about it. This is not an abstract thing. These are things that are going to affect you as a citizen. Not, oh, well, this is somebody else's problem. People, this is your problem.
Exactly.
And I can say any better, no better than that. I mean, I've already said that Trump's putting together the Legion of Doom, and these guys are just enforcing that completely. I'm talking about real life villains here, guys. I'm talking about guys that are coming after people, truly going to take the power that they have and abuse it. Like I said, they're not using the scalpel, guys. That was the approach of the last administration, to try to go through and dissect and see what's what. Yeah. These guys are just pretty much saying, hey, if you fit the description, you're getting out of here. And then we'll figure it out once we deport you or put you in jail or whatever. We'll figure that out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny that you bring that up because in El Salvador now they have like this new, well, it's not new, but it's a few years old, and they've been rounding up cartel members, gangs, or whatever, and putting them in these like supermax jails that they have out there. That. And they have admitted that they have locked up about 3,000 or 4,000 people who they had to release because they weren't part of the cartel, but they had tattoos or they had long hair or whatever, and they looked like they were. And they interviewed those people, and unfortunately, some of them were like, you know what? Well, I'm glad that it happened, that the policy is here. I'm just not happy that I got swept up in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might like the policy that, hey, they're going to deport these illegal immigrants out of our country. But once your ass gets swept up in it, you ain't going to like it because, to your point, they're not going to be meticulous about it, and they're not going to use a scalpel and go in and try to make sure they grab people that look like they fit the bill, and they send you out of here. You ain't traveling with your birth certificate on your hip, okay, and your citizenship papers unless you are a legal immigrant, and you got to have that stuff with you. So just be careful out there what you wish for, because now you're getting it, and it might impact you in a bad way. And another thing that we might get impacted in a bad way is our national intelligence, because, it might be a good way, because John Ratcliffe's coming. So let's talk about him.